real bad, bad. You too. Dripping my swag. Do my tag on. I got it in the bag now. Getting all type of cash. I'm a general true. I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some rest by the morning.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Go!
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Here's Coleman on the toss. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And the tight end Olsen, right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
On the ball, on the ball, on the ball, on the ball. Hey.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Newton on 3rd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 42. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Hey, let's go.
This is Coleman. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. From midfield now, here's Ryan. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Dontari Poe forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Julius Peppers. He's the one to get in this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Newton. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Drops it off for Coleman. And still fighting. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 15 yards down to the 15 and a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Ross Cockrell, and he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the 1st.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
It was funny during the draft process. Someone said to me, well, whoever takes Christian McCaffrey, as it turned out it was Carolina, how are they going to use him? Is he going to be an every down back? Is he going to be a third down guy? They're going to use him in the slot? What are they going to do with him? And I just said, yes.
All of that.
No doubt about it. This kid can do it all.
And he did a nice job there out of the backfield to pick up the first. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, this is McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it.
Wow. That ball was knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Tack McKinley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Now, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
20. 20. Hey, hey. Let's go, defense. Here we go. Hey, hey.
Just beating the play clock is Newton. But he's got his target. That's more. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Back to throw, Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Newton. And his throw is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and 5.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
20. Hey, hey. Gun.
Throwing again is Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They snap it to Newton. Funches with a catch over the middle. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got two. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 2nd down, Ryan. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. The Falcons will call on Matt Bryant for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So they get the field goal here at the end of the 2nd quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
This is taken near the 13. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, these offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the 2nd half gets underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the 1st half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Newton. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On first down, it's Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Back to the air, Newton on second down. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
20.
And the blitz does come. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. Spins by. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
On second down, here's Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 43.
20.
To throw is Newton. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Here's Newton now on second down. He's going to fire one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 13 yards down to the 13.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it. And any way you can get the ball in his hands, he wanted to do so. Personally, I thought he ran the best routes of anyone coming out of his draft class, and that included the wide receivers.
Last year, 80 receptions, also in the return game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he?
He certainly is. Every which way you want to go, however you want to package him, I do think his running production will increase in 2018.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. The Panthers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Newton. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Godot's kick is right through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other, quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the fourth, it's been an entertaining game considering just 2 field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now, or are we watching baseball? This feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Nice, intense, on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one. There's so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now the pitch to Freeman. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. from the shotgun. Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Newton on 3rd down. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot 5 and up, a lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Newton on 1st down. And this is going to be intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. In a tie game 4th quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew ways they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Carolina getting set to take the field. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Coming off the pick 6, it's Newton. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After the interception, here's Ryan. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. Charles, there's something special about one of those big D linemen bringing it in off the tip there. Really nice coordination.
Very much so, and I think what we've seen, and I'm going to put it at about the last 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, coaches placing a bigger emphasis on ball drills, even for defensive linemen, because possession is so key. When you got a chance to take one away, you want people comfortable with the football, and it paid off there.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Back to throw. And caught left side, Olsen. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
In a 2-minute drill, we often talk about taking care of the football, but sometimes it's just a matter of who wants it more. How about him going up top on a 50-50 ball and taking it away for a big play?
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. He's back to throw. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. DJ Moore, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow, this will be taken to the back of the end zone. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Here's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle.
Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones in the final minute, and the Falcons have broken our tie.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Carolina getting set to take the field. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Freeman. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And onto the field here come the Panthers. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Atlanta, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the